The Magic was alive at Citi Field Wednesday night. The Miracle Mets did it again, and they clinched themselves a trip to the NLCS. So there's so much to take away from this win, y'all. So let's talk with Tyler Ward, Mets content creator that you've seen talk Mets all over all types of platforms. But he's here with us now. What's going on, my man? How you feeling?
Brandon, the last time we were talking, we were in studio a couple weeks ago getting ready for potential postseason play. We're not only in, but we're heading to the NLCS for the first time in 9 years. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what does. I'm beyond pumped up to get in this conversation, baby. Let's do this.
Yep, that's why I had to bring the energy on the intro. So let's match their energy from last night, man. Give me your reactions and give me your key takeaways from the big win on Wednesday night.
Oh, key takeaways, just Francisco Lindor. It's as simple as that. It's been our unsung hero all year long. This is the same Mets team that was 11 games below 500 there before the end of May. Fast forward, best record in the regular season, best record in the NL East, which is why no one should be shocked that the Mets handled the Phillies the way that they did, even though it wasn't a dramatic fashion. But who was at the core of it? Who was there for game one of the doubleheader to make sure the Mets cracked playoffs? Who was there even prior against the Toronto Blue Jays when the Mets looked like that they were going to potentially drop a series there? Who was there now for the Mets in the key moment where they stranded bases loaded twice already in the ball game, leaving a slam Cisco Lindor getting all that bad boy to right? Mets have themselves a 4-1 lead and ultimately a huge series victory heading now to the NLCS. Between Lindor's tremendous leadership, as infectious as ever, also calm, cool, and collected, Brandon, the triple C's that I love to reference with players, to see Lindor do that swing, do that drive, and to not freak out whatsoever the way that Jesse Winker surely would have, shows you how much of an unsung leader and captain, a true MVP for this Mets team that he is. Yeah. Heard that with the stellar pitching the Mets have gone. Great things are happening in Queens right now.
Oh, we're going to talk about that debate for Lindor as baseball's most valuable player, but I was watching at a bar, right? And right when he got to back to the dugout, they cut with his teammates, the team. Everybody was waiting for him, jumping all over him. Man, we talked earlier a couple weeks ago about how he kind of went through a little ebb and flow and had a little slow start at the beginning of the season, but he came alive when the time mattered most, man. Just once again, man, give him his flowers again, man, because you know how guys can get beat down into the dirt when it comes to not playing up to par here in New York City. But the man has been absolutely lights out. So once again, man, please give Francisco Lindor his flowers.
Absolutely, because my big takeaway with Francisco Lindor is the character growth, right? This is a man that arrived with the Mets back in the 2021 offseason, signed a max huge contract, $341 million, the highest paid shortstop in Major League Baseball history, $1 million higher at the time from Fernando Tatis Jr. that we saw there. He's like, all right, if I'm going to stay here after being dealt, I need to be locked down long term. First year with the Mets, had his ups, had his downs. Every Mets fan thought it was a waste of a trade the first couple months. Then they started to turn on throughout the rest of the summer. 2022, Francisco Lindor, what a tremendous season for the Mets, helping lead the way with Polar Bear Pete Alonso to winning over 100 games, falling short in playoffs, but still a great regular season. Last season, Lindor, more of the same, not so much with the contact hitting, but still going gap to gap, tremendous home run power, and being a true leader in this clubhouse. Enter 2024 with so much uncertainty after being 11 games below 500. Who was going to take the charge? Who was going to lead the charge on the same day that we saw Jorge Lopez toss that glove, leave it to Francisco Lindor to once again be that guy to step up when no one else has? To say that he has not only been valuable, to say that he has not only been massive to the Mets' success in making playoffs is the biggest understatement imaginable. This team would be nowhere without Francisco Lindor.
All right. Take your Mets hat off without taking your Mets hat off. Let's say you're one of the boring baseball writers of America. Is Francisco Lindor your NL MVP?
Oh, my goodness gracious, yes. Seriously, like, if you're following the Mets every single day, that's something you got to preface here, because a lot of these writers, a lot of these people that are going to be having their opinions are not the ones that are diehard Mets fans that were following this team through all the ebbs and flows this year. But if you follow the team, if you do your homework, there's not one single player in Major League Baseball that has done more than Francisco Lindor, meaning most for his team this year. Has Shohei Ohtani been tremendous? Yes, he's breaking records, going over 50-50 club there with stolen back back-to-back home runs, first time in history. He's a unicorn. We already knew that. But what we also know is there's no defense from Shohei while Lindor plays the best shortstop in Major League Baseball. There is the unsung hero of a guy that as long as he physically can be out there, will be out there for as many games as possible, even with a broken back, spending roughly an hour pregame every single game in this year's playoffs just to have his backfield decent enough to handle the workload that he's going to do. Then you add in the home run heroics to single-handedly clinch the Mets in the playoffs against the Braves, to now clinch the NLCS with the grand slam. Lindor has come out and has showed out in moments that no other player in Major League Baseball has single-handedly done for their team. Shohei's amazing. We all know that. It doesn't change the fact that when it comes to what the most valuable player in baseball truly means, is a guy that's going to help you get out of a rut, take the charge as a leader, and lead you not only into postseason play, but now a deep run. Were the Dodgers 11 games below 500, Brandon? I don't think so. Yes, did the Dodgers have a lot of injuries this year? 1,000%. Doesn't change the fact that no one even sniffs what Lindor has done for the Mets this season, and that in itself, in my mind, is still an understatement.
And that's the bottom line, because Wardy said so. Let's go,
yeah,
baby.
I love that.
Bro,
that
grand slam had me going crazy, man. I'm not even gonna lie. That was huge.
Bills.
All right. Let's look ahead into the NLCS. They could be playing either the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani's Dodgers, or the Padres. Which matchup do you like? Which one is more favorable for the Mets, or is it just whoever? The magic is there. Come one, come all. They'll play both teams if they needed to.
Bring them all on. It doesn't matter. The Mets have handled the Dodgers in the regular season. Mets handle the Padres in the regular season. Why should things be different now, right? But okay, we're going to have the unbiased point of view. These are both very talented teams. The Dodgers on paper are usually what you're more concerned about because they're the big bad Dodgers. Even with Shohei Ohtani, I think that this is a vulnerable ball club. However, their pitching staff is so light from the injuries that they have dealt with this season. I further believe that that will be exposed in the NLCS should they crack it. Not to jinx anything, whoever's going to pass is going to have themselves a big matchup against the Mets. Nothing is guaranteed. But as we go from the Dodgers, led by Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, who didn't even play there in Game 4 in San Diego, where they won 8-0 because the Padres didn't show up. I went from initially believing, Brandon, I don't want to face San Diego at all, to basically saying, okay, whoever wins the series is who wins the series, and we'll face them because the Padres have been the more momentum team this year. They had a tremendous summer. Jackson Merrill, their rookie, an absolute stud. Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny, everyone in company. When right, they have been fantastic. Bolstered the bullpen big time at the trade deadline. Have a tremendous pitching staff. Vibes are riding high in San Diego, but after being absolutely wiped the floor by the Dodgers at home, who knows what's going to happen in this matchup? So what do I have to say? I'm fine with either team. And the big thing is that whatever is thrown the Mets' way is nothing that they can't handle because they faced more adversity than any other team in baseball this season when overcoming their obstacles 11 games below 500. That is why I'm confident. That's why I'm so ecstatic about this NLCS. And that is why I firmly believe that even if we have a Shohei versus Lindor battle that I think we would all love to see, I do have strength and confidence in the boys to get the job done.
Absolutely. When you talk about adversity, man, teams that go through that, they become like this caged animal. And you always see the teams that get hot towards the end of the season that has had some sort of roller coaster ride or have had to overcome something or some things. Those are the dangerous teams that nobody wants to see in the playoffs, and that is this year's New York Mets. Wardy, tell the people they can find you, my man. You still got me fired up, man. I need an at-bat right now.
I know, Brent. Dude, I was literally, for the whole time yesterday, after Lindor at the Grand Slam, I'm just holding the mic like this. It's high, it's far, and it is gone. I'm so locked in on the boys right now. You guys can check out my work at WardyNYM, where I cover the Mets every single day. I do in-game and post-game coverage, all playoff long right now. Brandon, thank you so much for having me on. We said, again, last time we spoke was before playoffs. The Mets make playoffs. We'll make sure that we're going to chop it up again. We're doing exactly that. Hopefully not the last time we're speaking this year's postseason play, but thank you so much for having me on. I love the vibes too, Brandon. You're getting me even hyped up to start the day when I didn't think that I could be more hyped up than I already was. So thank you so much for that. Let's go Mets, baby, and let's have ourselves an NLCS.
Yeah, I got a little too hyped, though. Now my back hurt like Lindor. So now
you know how I feel every day.
About to
just
be 40
screaming my head off.
All right, man. See you next week, bro.